I am now going to be joined by Anya. If you're not aware, I talked about her in part 1 and why I'm inspired by her and why I want her to join me today. So go back and check that out if you want any backstory. But to summarize, she inspired the hell out of me. And I heard her speak and it was so amazing and magnetic and like a breath of fresh air that I hunted her down afterwards and was like, tell me everything about you. Who are you? What are you? What do you do? I need to know how you just did what you did. And so we've spoken maybe twice before now, but I just really want to A, be in her presence and hear her speak more, but B, actually show her off and give people an example of what it feels like when you witness somebody just being their full, raw selves, their too muchness, all of that good, just embodying their soul, basically. So I'm just going to add something and hopefully this time it will work because, hey.
Hello.
Do you see
Have
me?
we done it?
Yeah. Can you see me?
It's happening.
Yes.
It's
Thank
happening.
you. Thank you, Zuck.
Oh,
Oh,
God. But this
okay.
light is very, very strong.
Yeah.
Um,
Same.
so I have to find somewhere else now, or
You feel into it. Yeah. If you want to move around whilst you chat, all good. Doesn't
I
need
mean,
to
to be honest, it's not going to last long. So wait, hold on. We'll be gone in a minute because the clouds are there.
There we go. Good. Okay.
Clouds.
Amazing.
What's happening?
Thank
We're live.
you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for bearing with me through the technical fun.
Yeah.
Anya, I did do like a full intro as to why I wanted to share this space with you today and why you inspired me. But what I really wanted to talk about with you today, because I think you embody it so well, so magnetically, is the wild woman. And I guess what I really want to know is like, firstly, what does that mean to you when I say like the wild woman and that you're able to channel that really, really well and inspire people? Yeah, what does that archetype mean to you?
I don't actually know, to be honest. Like, how do you tell me what you think it is? Then I'll tell you how I resonate with it. Does that
Yeah,
make sense?
yeah. So for me, the wild woman she is freedom. She is just complete power unleashed within us. And I also see her as it's this part within us that's like our inner child, like who we were when we came into this life, just so full of energy and power and love and magnetism and joy and etc., but matured. Like she is that,
Hmm.
but she's been able to like ground that kind of power, which obviously as a child we don't really know what we're doing. It's a little bit chaotic, a little bit all over the place. So I feel like there are no limitations. It's like your too muchness, but
Hmm.
what there is a grounding, there is a direction. So like there's no limitations, but there is like somebody directing that kind of energy and power into the direction they want it to go,
Hmm.
so that there is, I guess, containment. There's some form of containment. So any limitations are what she places on herself in that moment. So for instance, like hearing you speak, you get given a topic and you just oof, all that energy and power just comes through you, and it's contained within a specific topic. But other than that, she's just free. That's what the wild woman is to me. It's like our raw essence, our raw power. And the part of us that we fear is like, if I let her out, she's going to burn the place down, or she's going to like cause some chaos. She's going to be too much for people, basically. And I think it's the heart of our power. And I don't think it's like the only thing that our soul contains, because I think our soul also contains, our softness,
Mm-hmm.
our very demure parts as well. But I do think that this is the one we maybe fear the most to let out. And so,
Definitely.
yeah, that's what it means to me. But what about you?
Do you know, when you were speaking, I was listening to what you were saying. I was like, yeah, 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 because the fear for me, it was always, even now, because I fight against it, it was always a thing of, can I be that person though? Can I? Am I strong enough? Am I brave enough? Am I that person? Because she's big, she's huge. And you hear all this stuff, on like social media or just from people throughout time who have said things to do with how strong you are or how powerful you are. You hear poems and stuff like that about your spirit and you don't even know what you're capable of and all this sort of stuff. But when you read stuff and you're just like, oh yeah, but when you actually get in touch with it and you feel it, it's like, oh, that is there. That it's in me. But throughout all these years, obviously you don't know it at the time that you've been conditioned out of that.
Mm,
So to play small is normal, it's safe, it's okay, because anything else is inviting attention and that's not safe.
yeah. Hmm.
So this woman, this other side, is who's been there the whole time. Obviously it's been maturing, developing. It's like a watcher. The watcher's been there the whole time, developing, keeping, whilst you've been keeping yourself, because you have to develop all these things to keep yourself safe so that you can be okay. But it's always there and it's got power. Somehow it's just got this thing, but
Mm,
everything else is so strong. The walls, conditioning, it's so strong. That's who I think I am. That's who I think I am. No, that's who I am. I swear it, that's who I am.
yeah. Oh, I felt that. I have full chills from you talking like that because yeah, that is exactly my experience. Like listening to my mind and my ego tell me like that's not you. You can't possibly be that powerful. You can't possibly be like a force of nature, but that's what I feel when I feel into her. I'm like, she is a force of nature. She is unstoppable. She is undeniable. And something about that scares my ego, is a threat to my ego, which is really interesting because it's like a part of us recognize there is so much power here that's untapped. And yet, it's like you said, we feel like we need to keep safe by being away from that power. When if you think about it, more power should equal more safety. And I have had this weird switch recently where I'm like, that is my safety. Like being her, embodying more of her, allowing her to direct the show more, actually is where I feel like I can trust more and feel like that container, that protection, that whatever it is my ego is always trying to seek to feel safety. It's like her immense power makes me feel safer when I actually trust in it. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I stop trying to control her and just let her go, it's like you're in that flow state. It's like nothing else matters. You're just being. You're so in the present moment that you're just being and you're not worrying about how do I keep myself safe. But I don't know if
Because that's
that
the actual truth. That is the actual truth. And everything else is the conditioning to keep you safe so that we are worldly. So whether
yeah.
it's anxiety, whether it's depression, there's this guy I used to follow called Sam Vaknin. He focuses a lot on narcissists and I went through a period of my life where I was overdosing on content about narcissists, and he said something and it struck a bell, like, depression, it's like it's just a persona to keep you safe. Like, it's a self-fulfilling thing. It doesn't mean that it's not real and that you're not feeling it, but it's a great excuse to keep going. And it's like the best comfort blanket, because it's like, I know this already about myself. So it just feeds into it, feeds round and round. And I can say that because I have been depressed. I owned it. So it's so funny to me, the same way that I can own depression or own any, and the same ways we own those things, we don't want to own this truth. But it's exactly the same energy, the same amount of energy that you're going to be using to believe that you are small, that you're going to believe that you're big. But that's what we're used to. Everything is set up for that belief in, it's human nature. We go for the negatives because we're trying to keep ourselves safe. Like, we want to, it's just easier to live in that, especially if you've been brought up around in a society, whichever your culture, your family, play small. And I always think of the negatives. So we can't help it. So that voice of the, as you put it, the wild woman, we are trying to keep ourselves safe, even from her and what she's going to make us do if we listen to her.
Yeah, keep ourselves safe from ourselves. And I love what you just said, because I really feel like we actually use so much energy to try and contain her. Like, so much energy that we don't realize is just unconsciously being used to like keep her down, keep her boxed in. Otherwise, we're not safe. All of that. And when you start to like open Pandora's box a bit, and you're like, okay, I'll let her out a little bit. Suddenly, you're like, oh, I feel so energized. Like, that was great. Like, that maybe like 5 minutes or whatever that I let her out felt really good. And I think it's because you're actually like reclaiming real energy from just not trying to keep her contained, even for like 5 minutes. That feels rejuvenating, because that's how scared we are of our own power. And
I mean, that's if you're even lucky enough to be aware that it's there. Because if
yeah,
you're not, you just live in this thing of who you think you are, that you cling to. Oh, I'm this sort of person. Oh, I'm just a quiet person. Oh, I'm just like I'm an extrovert. I'm an
yeah,
introvert. When a lot of these things, unless you've done the self-reflection inquiry, that's who you've had to be. It's not necessarily who you are. It's just you've been plodding along. These things have happened to you, and then you've developed this persona. I'm the funny one. I'm the quiet one. I'm the this. I'm the. But who are you really? Who the fuck
mm,
are you? Okay, who are you? Can you give yourself that gift to find out who the hell you are? The amount of times you just be on Netflix, you'll be on watching movies, investing so much in the character development. You'll be Googling it while you're watching it. Oh, let me see about this character. Oh, that's why this, oh, that's why this. But you're yourself, you don't know any of that shit. Interesting.
mm-hmm,
What a lot.
mm-hmm,
What a waste of an opportunity. You'll be dead soon.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm really curious to know, like, what was the turning point for you, if you could, if you even have a specific moment in mind or a story where you were like, I'm gonna start letting her out. I'm just gonna go for it. Like, what made you kind of feel safe enough to even start like going like, oh, let's see what she's got.
I don't know if I'm safe enough now. That's not the point. I'm, because it switches. I'm used to my programming. I'm not safe enough now. But that voice within, as you put it, the wild woman, she knows that there's more out there, and she's holding my hand. Like, I will do it. I will do it anyway. Because
Mm,
why not? Because why not? You've done the other stuff. You've played that way. Why not? Make a test and see. I've done the other stuff. So why would I keep doing that?
mm. I love that. So basically, you stop chasing safety and comfort, and you're like, I'm bored. I know where this goes. I'm done. I want something different. And like you said, why not be more free?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't stopped chasing safety and comfort. It's my default. It's all of our defaults for the most part, and that's the thing, to acknowledge that and say, no, you know that you just want life to be easy. You don't want any problems. You want it like how we want it, but but it's not like that, and you're gonna have to push through, even if your programming, your conditioning, society, all these other things, and I'll hold your hand whilst you're doing it.
Mm. So it's like you don't prioritize that, the fear and the safety seeking. You prioritize being her.
I prioritize being there for myself, because I really realize, you know, they say it's so fucking irritating. You know, when you see those Instagram posts or people just saying, no one's coming to save you. And you
Mm-hmm.
read it and you're like, yeah, no one's coming to save you. But no one is actually coming to save you.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually true. And um, it's hard to take. It's hard. I don't know about you. Have you accepted that?
Very recently, like terrifyingly recently, have I fully accepted that. Truly, if I'm being
But
honest.
you've known about it for years, right? You've heard it for a long
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. But still, I was unconsciously hoping that someone would, like that someone would save me, but that I could take the credit for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that is the really scary. It's the red pill of red pills when you
It's
take that
you.
one, you're like,
It's you, bitch. It's
yeah,
you.
yeah. You save yourself. Yeah.
That's all there is. And listen, people can help and facilitate in your life. People that come into your life can, make things easier by creating, safety in who they are and how they are. It helps with your nervous system. If you're calm, if you feel good in yourself, then you can, it's the conditions, isn't it, to grow, you
Yeah.
know? But ultimately, it is you. And remember what I said about, it's like you're running away from like that that power. Can I do this? Yeah. Well, you don't actually have a choice. So get going.
I love that. Yeah, that like to start actually seeing the wild woman, your soul, your higher self, whatever you want to call it. To me, they're all kind of the same thing. Of like, she's your best friend. She's you, ultimately. Like, not to
She
separate.
is the only person who's ever been there for you every single day of your life, every single moment, good, bad. She's been there the whole time.
Mm, I love
And
that.
yet we look outside
Yeah,
for someone to support us. She's been your biggest supporter.
yeah, yeah. And we're like simultaneously scared of her power and her too muchness, but also I think we're also scared of like, but if I just let her go, is it going to be enough? Me in my raw, naked truth, is that enough? Is that enough for the algorithm? Is that enough to like capture people's attention, to be inspiring, all that stuff? And it's like it's crazy. I really think that she is the too muchness and the is it enough? Am I enough? Kind of, she's all of that paradox contained in one. But it's like it's everything. She's being her is everything. It's you because it's actually you. It's you when you're not being milk toast. It's you when you're not diluting yourself. It's energy. It's life force. It's like something for people to be like, I can actually connect with that, with her. I can connect in that because I know that's in me and that is real. It sometimes feels like it's the only real thing because everything else is like kind of our mask, like what you've been describing, the conditioning, the programs around safety, and that she is like the only real thing. And then we're just like, oh, but oh, it's too much and it's not enough, and I'm scared. It's like that. It's wild.
See, I haven't even when you were speaking there, I was like, I haven't even got to that place where I'm considering if it's enough, if she's enough, because I know she is. What
Mm.
isn't enough, or what isn't enough, is my persona,
Yeah.
my shield, my ego, my identity, my who I am. That's the part that will never be enough. But that part is already enough. Already enough. It's already done. So this that I'm playing at is the
Yeah.
bit that's not enough, because it can never be enough, because it's based off of all the things outside things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But this thing that I know and I feel within myself, it's like a light.
Yeah.
So if it's a
Yeah.
light, then it's already there.
Yeah. It's exactly what you were just describing. I felt that like when we're sort of fearing our programming, our ego, our human self, whatever you want to call it, that's more like the empty black hole kind of seeking validation, never
Mm-hmm.
feeling like,
Yep.
you could pour into that forever and ever and it would still be, like you said, not enough. And then, like you said, your higher self, the wild woman, she is light, which means she is so full she's just so like she's emitting energy now. She's life-giving. Like that's how much she is more than enough. Like she is abundant. She is just like this source of light and energy for herself and others. So it's like we weirdly kind of oscillate. Well, if you're lucky, like you said, if you're even aware that you have this other side of you, um, oscillate between the black hole that's like just seeking, needing, never feeling quite full.
We
And
can't
then,
help it. It's a lifetime.
yeah.
It's a whole lifetime since you were a baby. If imagine the opposite happened, where it was consciously like put into you that you are, great, you are amazing, all these things are possible. It's a completely different. That may still be there, but the level of intensity of that blackness will be much less, because it's not the baseline. I
Mm.
remember
Yeah.
a few years ago, because I remember this conversation. I was on the phone to my friend. I was driving, hands free, obviously, and I was just saying, all this business about self love. Why does it take for you to have to get depressed and almost jump off a bridge for somebody to tell you you need to love yourself? But if you love yourself, or come off like, oh yeah, I'm loving myself. Oh yeah, I tell my kids I love them all the time, or love, 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 love. Oh, that's a bit much. That's a bit much. It's a bit like, love yourself. Why are you hyping yourself up? Be
Yeah.
humble.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I love that you mentioned that because the whole like, oh, it's such an ego trip to hype yourself up and to talk about how much you love yourself. Like it it has nothing to do with that, like at all. It's just like if you truly love yourself, it's like you love anybody in your life, you would say to that person, I love you, and you would make them feel loved. It would just pour out of you naturally. You wouldn't even have to think about it, and you wouldn't necessarily be like, I really want to express my love for this person right now, but like maybe it's too much and it will feed their ego. No, it's like it's love, and that's what love is. It pours out of us. It's just a state of being. And yet when it comes to just expressing our love for ourselves, whether or not it's around anybody, suddenly where we have that be humble programming, be humble, and it's like I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of that programming at all. And I think if you're secure in yourself and you know that I am, I am okay to give myself love in front of people. I'm okay to talk about how much I love myself, about how great I am, because I know that this isn't about feeding, like we were just saying, that black hole, that empty hole. It's about if I view myself as this being of light and I pour love into me, I'll see other people that way as well. And that's just who I am. I love other people in my life. I love myself just as much. And it's just natural. It's effortless and has nothing to do with ego, in my opinion.
the thing I wonder sometimes is, when does it end? Because when you have a baby, love, 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 love. Let's pour love into this child. You want love, love, love. And then at what age should I stop looking at myself the same way people looked at me? 6 months, 8 months, 5, 10. We're the same. I'm still that same being. So why am I adored? Oh, precious, precious. Why am I not precious anymore? Now I'm 15. Why am I not precious anymore? Now I'm 37. It's the
Yeah,
same thing.
I love that. That is, yeah, that is epic because you feel like when you're a child, for some reason, like you said, it's acceptable to make a child feel cherished and special and like they deserve the world. And you have this whole programming I think we have of like, children deserve it more because they're pure light, they're pure innocence, and somehow it's like when we reach adulthood, we were like fallen angels, like you said, like why are we not deserving of that level of unconditional love that we give babies and children, especially like I do think that part of this journey in this dimension is to realize that yeah, the unconditional love that we maybe experienced as babies, as children, if you're lucky, um, that is then our job to pour that into ourselves. At some point, it needs to switch where it stops coming from just the outside world and you carry that forward for yourself. And then I think it starts to be reflected more back at you because you are cherishing yourself, you are pouring that much love into yourself that other people can't help but be mirrors to that for you. At least
Mm,
that's what's happened in my experience is that when I was younger and I had very low self-esteem, it felt like everyone was picking up on that and just mirroring that back at me, all the reasons why I'm not good enough. And when I started to, in the last few years, really work on myself, um, in terms of loving myself, suddenly people in my life are just like, do you understand what you are, who you are, and how much of an impact you have on me? Do you even realize what it means for me to be friends with you? How much like these this craziest shit they started pouring out with, and I'm like, I've known you for half my life, and I've never heard you say that before. How is it now? How is it now? And it's not that I wasn't that person before. I wasn't worthy. It's just that because I was ready to receive that, because I'd been
mm,
pouring that into myself, suddenly the world started, yeah, that's right. That's right. You are those things. You are light. You are love. And
mm,
it's purely because it's so hard to receive. It's so, because of all of that shit, that conditioning and programming, it's so uncomfortable when someone gives you a compliment and for you to like, especially in England, I feel like it's such a British thing to be like, no, you are. Like
mm,
deflector shield comes up immediately when you go, oh, this whole thing, oh, me, oh, no, and diminish yourself again, be humble, which is so inauthentic, rather than just like, yeah, this feels hard for me to take in sometimes, but I'm gonna do the hard thing and take it in. Like,
mm,
gimme, okay. Because it will change you on a cellular level the more you do that. I really feel that.
mm. I think it makes sense though that these things are hard for us because we're part of a society and part of that. You need that conditioning to keep us all. It's going to take a lot to shift, but we can only start with ourselves and then it goes outwards. What you're talking about, when I hear it, it sounds like security. Like, so, attachment theory, where they say about secure, anxious, or just secure and insecure. I really do think that the data, obviously, when it was initially done, it's a long time ago now, it's so outdated because you can tell that by how society is. You can tell that by the relationships. You can tell that by the fragmentation, divorce, single parent households, just the way the community is. I don't believe that 50% of the population are secure. I think that's bullshit.
Yeah. That's a
I think
good
it's
way of putting it.
absolute bullshit. Because when I did some research into emotional abuse, I was so curious. So a lot of the things that it was reeling off are things that adults do to one another. When I was looking at emotional abuse regarding children. So, but that is just how we parent. The things that I was listing that happened to me, 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 that happened to me. All these things happen to me. It's emotional abuse. And what do you get with emotional abuse? You get insecure people. So everybody, not everybody, a lot of people are insecure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh God, yeah. And I'm just reading the comment there. Hang on, because there's a few. I'd suggest we were saying those things before, but you weren't able to hear them. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Because if your view of yourself, like you were just saying, you've had all this like emotional abuse in your childhood or neglect or whatever it is, if your view of yourself is, well, that means I didn't deserve to be treated better, because children tend to think in those terms. They're like, I was bad. I was somehow unworthy of that love. Then as you grow up, it doesn't matter how many times people reaffirm, you are loved, we do see you this way, you are deserving.
It's already in the cement. It's already
Yeah.
in the blueprint. It's already in your nervous system. That is what you're wired for now. That is why you're insecure. But
And
we
you just,
think this is just who we are. You cling to it. That's who I am. It's not who you are. It's what was done to you. It's your
yeah,
programming. But I get it. It really feels so strong in your system that you believe that that's who you are.
yeah. And
And we,
you will just
and we don't
deflect.
want to, and we don't want to think, we don't want to believe. Even me, when I was reading it, I'm quite an open person. I'm like, yeah, but emotional abuse, that's a bit strong, isn't it? It's a bit strong that we've all been emotionally abused by our parents. When I say that to you, how does that feel to think that that happened to you?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like instantly you kind of feel this like, oh, that's too harsh, and they're doing their best and you want to protect them and like, yeah, just like defend or go, I don't want to feel like a victim, so I don't want to like, feed that narrative in me. That's what comes up.
But the proof is in the pudding.
I really don't think we're supposed to, this is the thing, like nobody, I've never met a person who had all their needs met when they were a child. It doesn't matter how much money their parents had, doesn't matter how much time their parents had, for whatever reason, maybe this person exists out there, but I have never met them. Like, I almost feel like it's actually somehow meant to be the case, not that anyone gets abused, but that we don't have all of our needs met, because it's almost like we're supposed to go on that journey and heal that within ourselves, maybe so that we can help other people. I don't know. I don't know what, I'm not going to pretend I understand what this reality is about, but I'm just saying, like, it's a bit of a coincidence that it, it, have you ever met anyone who's had all of their needs met?
No. And honestly, I don't even think it's about, like, it's good that we don't have all of the needs met. Otherwise, what the hell are you going to do? You need to do some bloody work yourself. That's how I look at it when I think of my kids. I'm
Yeah,
like, listen, you're already a step ahead of me. All right, you've lucked out here, but it's not going to be. You got your own work. I've got to leave a little bit for you to do so you can elevate and push forward. The
lovely.
point is the unconsciousness of it all, that we just do things that we think is normal, but actually it's abusive to our children, and it was abusive to us. But everything's been so normalized now. And then, like I said, the proof is in the pudding, by how people relate to one another, by how people relate to themselves, how we treat each other, how we treat ourselves. That's where the proof is to see. Were you raised in a secure household where it's not like a blaming thing, it's not a witch hunt, it's
Yeah.
just an understanding that, okay, you are this way, you lack these tools, you have these insecurities because of what was done or what wasn't done. Now, what are you going to do so that you heal yourself, so that when you relate to other people in this world, you don't cause damage? And then, most importantly, keep damaging yourself. And then, if you have children, pour it onto them. That's the work. That's the job.
Mm-hmm.
If you're lucky enough to come into that understanding.
Yeah. it's so wild. It's like your job is to love yourself so fiercely that you don't somehow impact, like, yeah, exactly, pass on your wounding to the next generation. It's like it's actually your responsibility to love yourself, like unconditionally love yourself at all times, pour into yourself. I mean, we don't all do that, obviously, like we're not perfect people, but I like that it's thinking of it in terms of like, it's not just this la la, oh, it would be so cute if everyone loved themselves. It's like, it's your responsibility. Keep your side of the street clean, pour into yourself, like, stop thinking that it's about, like, I love, yeah, Gret, your comment about, not sure if this resonates with your lived experience, but I was always fed the narrative that we're self-centered, egotistical, selfish if I celebrated myself. Exactly. And that narrative stops you from feeling good about loving yourself, which is fucking nuts if you think about it. Like we police ourselves now because that voice is internalized. We police ourselves on, oh, am I loving myself too much? Do I think I'm too high and mighty? Like what? And then yeah, then we keep it limited. It's like I can love myself if I think a lot of people are like, if I have certain achievements, if I work and earn love, then it's okay for me to be loved. If it's coming from other people, then it's okay, blah blah blah. Like it's absolutely mind-blowing. And then what did you say? Sorry, yeah, it's such a role reversal compared to being a baby toddler and having constant celebration of your little wins. Exactly. When babies, like, obviously you try as best as you can to just make them feel like you don't have to do anything, you don't have to be anything, you are just a ray of sunshine. I just love being in your energy and I can't help but love you exactly as you are. And then yeah, again, at some point that seems to shift gears where we're like, I've lost my innocence. I think it's maybe, oh, I don't want to postulate when it is, but definitely by teenagehood, I was already feeling like I'm bad. We're bad. Something about us is bad. And then leaning into that kind of with my rebellious phase. It's like, well, I'm bad anyway, so I might as well just lean into it.
Mm.
Okay. So, starting to wrap up now, because I don't know how much longer my Wi-Fi is going to last.
Mm.
What, what would you advise parents, especially mothers, to do in this regard when it comes to, because I know you know a lot about how to parent yourself so that you can be a better parent. Um, is there anything you would say or any tools that you would give to especially the mums out there who feel like I mean, I think pretty much all mums feel like they're never doing a good enough job. There's
Mm.
always room for improvement, blah, blah, blah. On the topic of self-love, on the topic of trusting yourself and your wild woman, any of that, I would love to hear what kind of advice you have for people out there.
For mums, I would say to figure yourself out. You deserve it. You absolutely deserve to know who you are, understand who you are, and accept who you are. Once you can do that, you're closer to being more free for thinking of who you have to be. Who you are is okay. Who you are is enough. You are you, and that's the same way you love your children, that same love that you have for them, you must, you must turn that towards yourself. I know it's difficult because depending on what was done to you, it's like you're just naked. You're just like, well, how do I do that? How do I go about doing that? That's your job. When you can do that for yourself, your capacity for your children will expand because you understand that when you have kids, it depends how you look at it. But to me, my kids are like, because they're still quite young, maybe when they get older, I won't care anymore, but I doubt it. But that's what happens, isn't it? But it won't. But what I'm trying to say is that there's this love that you feel for your children that it's like you die for them, die for yourself. That
Yeah.
same conviction, that same passion, fight and die for yourself.
That is so fucking epic. Die for yourself. Because also I feel like that's what an ego death is. You
Mm,
let go of who you think you are and the story you have about yourself. And sometimes it feels like you're going to die if you let go of the story, if you let go of your past. And that's exactly what you have to do. Die to become more of yourself, die for yourself, let it go because you love yourself. Out of love, can you let your old self go, your ego go, and just be the wild woman and love? Just be more love. Like, that was so good. Wow. Anything else before I let you go? Because that was amazing.
no, that's it. And I know, like, sometimes when you hear these things, it sounds a bit abstract, like, depending on where you are,
Mm.
like, how do I do that? What do I do? First thing, because always it's like, okay, I want to leave something with people, actionable things to do. Get to know yourself, really find out about yourself. You know, like, could call it
Yeah.
date yourself. And I don't mean run a bubble bath or go and book a dinner somewhere. Like, find out something about yourself from when you were younger. What did you like to do? Who am I? Who was I?
Mm. Mm.
The same thing you would invest in, like, oh, if you're going on a date, oh, what questions would I ask? Da, da, da. Ask yourself these questions so you can get to know more of who you are. Come back to yourself. So that's what I would leave people with. Come back to yourself.
That is, yeah, beautiful. Wow. I love that. I could talk to you for hours, obviously, and we kind of did the other night. So thank you so much for sharing your time, your voice, your energy. Um, this was epic. I would love to do it again sometime, anytime. And yeah, I would highly recommend anybody watching this to check out Onye, check out her work, because honestly, when you speak, it is just like being connected to the source of power. It's like I feel like charged up. Like I feel like I just had a shot of espresso. So thank you so
Oh, thank
much.
you. I appreciate that. And yeah, follow me, Your Mind Story. You can Google it, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I'm not a tech person. I'm not an influencer. I just got some stuff to share that can help you to think, feel, live better, just more freedom. So if you want to be free,
Yeah.
get some insights, then just watch out for me.
Yes. Love that.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Thank
Speak
you. I
soon.
appreciate you. Thank you. Bye.